Hey YouTube, I'm supposed to be working today, but it's raining. I'm working outside, cutting down bushes. That's hence why I'm dressed full on working gear, including worky boots. But outside destroying brambles. So I thought I'd just do a video for Westones from the Matsumoku factory in the 80s. I don't think they started. I think they started in 1980. Odd. Back in the day, I remember my first bass was a Westone Spectrum DX bass, and I hated it. It was just because the shape of them, it really didn't suit. You know, when I was like 18 or 20 or whatever it was, and it's like, yeah, playing the Stones, you know, I needed to have a P bass or an SG bass. I couldn't have something. It was basically this sort of shape. So, and then, I don't know, this is the first one I've bought in recent years, a couple of years ago. It's blue. It's even got a blue fretboard, which is, it's kind of won it for me. I won it on eBay, and I saved on the postage on it because it was local, and then we didn't realise how local it was. It was actually 2 streets away, maybe about 10 minutes walk from the house to go and get it. So I got it, it's local, so it's probably been in Lindsay for 20 years or something. 30 years, I don't know if he bought it new, he didn't say. Yep, so this is a Spectrum SX from 1985. You can tell the serial number on these ones, the 80s ones, because it starts with a 5 for 85, they're all 80s. They all say a Matsumoku product on the back, you know, people, and made in Japan, so you know what it is. These have got, by this point, Westone were always famous for having push-pull pots. I can't actually remember what this one originally would have had, because when I got it, it was the wiring was all messed up. So I've got a coil split, I've got a turn the neck pickup on, and I've got a phase switch put into this one. I think originally it would have had a coil split for the humbucker and a phase for the humbucker. They like their phases. One thing I don't like about this is it's got one of those barrel jack input sockets, and it's a bit wobbly. And there's no way of, like, you can't, like with other, you know, the normal ones, you can sort of bend them with pliers and scrape them with sandpaper and make them work. You just need to buy a new output. So this one's got a 5-way lever, a volume 2 tones. So I assume it's a volume in 2 tones. I've not tuned any of these. This contains, I believe, I'm not sure if it's actually a Bendmaster Deluxe or a Bendmaster. Something, they changed the names of some of the components in the catalogue. There's a really good Westone guitar site where it's got nearly all the catalogues, and it tells you about these things. But this bridge is sort of like I suppose a sort of precursor to the Floyd Rose, so it doesn't have the, you know, the locking bit at the top is a separate unit, it's not part of the nut. This has got a graphite nut, which you don't want, and in there there's a bullet truss rod with like a lever that you can do it with a small screwdriver rather than, or any bit of metal really, rather than needing an Allen key to adjust the truss rod. And it's floating, so you get a modicum, not much up bend. But it returns to pitch amazingly, like unlike any Floyd Rose I've ever come across. And also, when you're doing the thing which I can't stand, I've actually got a Yamaha that's still suffering from it. I still don't really understand the technology of why it works, but seeing you're doing the sort of Chuck Berry, when you bend the string, it raises the bridge up, and even on expensive Floyd Roses it does that. On this guitar it doesn't, it stays level. So you can be like mad with vibrato and stuff without putting it out of tune. Yeah, so this guitar, what I'm remembering from the spec sheet, it is maple body and maple neck. Obviously the neck's been stained blue. It's got, the Westone original tuners are always good, you know, Japanese quality stuff. The pickups on this, I believe, and at this time they've only changed the names of the pickups. I don't think they've really changed the pickups very much, although when I was in this one this humbucker doesn't have a metal plate on the back. It's like plastic. So it's very similar to the ones that are in some of the other Westones. It looks like, I think it's exactly the same pickup, but it doesn't have a metal plate on the back. And those pickups have an MMK, which I believe stands for Maxon. I can't remember. I think Wayne said something the other day about what it actually stood for. I can't remember what it was. Those are Japanese pickups. And at this point, I think they're called Magnaflux. So I think that's a Magnaflux 4. UBC, which means unbalanced coil, so when you coil split it, it's meant to sound better, it's like dodging. So yeah, because I put the switches in, I can't remember which one's a coil split. There's that one. That's some sort of phase. Added in the other pickups, honestly, yeah. Probably not the guitar spot, probably I've probably wired it up wrong or something's missing. I don't think that coil spot's working. I at first thought this guitar was broken. In fact, I actually bought it with the pickup, assuming the pickup was broken because it's got such a weird sound to it. It's really, really bitey. But last night I fixed up the orange spectrum there, and the first 10 minutes it was like, oh god, what's wrong with it? It's broken. And then suddenly you just get used to it, and suddenly it's amazing. There's so much definition. So this being the SX model, which is quite higher up the range, I think there's a neck through model even higher than this. So this has got a translucent finish on it. It's also available in red with a red neck. The only thing I feel about it, I wish it was a lighter blue because you can't really see it. It looks black in a lot of lights, and you can't really see it's translucent until you get up close to it. And it's really amazing looking, sort of bird's eye maple, big, hundreds of grain patterns on it. It's just too dark. Yep, so that's my blue one, the first one. I'll run through them. Next up, got my yellow one, which I think it became my favourite guitar when I got it. I thought it was amazing. It's got exactly the same really shrill sound to it. Oh, this guitar's brilliant. Brilliantly in tune, but so this is a Concord H2, H being for humbucker and 2 being for I'm not really sure. But so this is a one-piece maple neck on it. This one's 1983. Serial number starts with a 3. It's got in fact those are not the same tuners. It's got slightly different tuners. Not that you'd ever notice. Just that if you look at it, see the wee screw bits on the bottom rather than being on the side, like the other ones, and they've actually it's got sort of more fendery Clussen like teardrop tops on it, but they're still top notch. It's got a bullet truss rod. This one doesn't have the graphite nut, it's just plastic, but the one piece neck, whoa. And then 2 of the MMK 45 humbuckers. These at this time were called Hammer or Hammer 2, I can't remember. It was like Hammer humbuckers. Rhythm treble switch. Again, I'm not 100% sure how this would have been wired. They must have, in 1983 they didn't have push-pull pots yet, so they're just, it's mini switches instead. And they are... Color split. I've wired these up as 2 tone controls and a volume control. It might have originally been 2 volumes and a tone. I don't think this guitar had electrics in it. And this has got like a strap bridge on it. And so this is a bit like, there's a a guitar called a Thunder. I did a review a couple of weeks ago of a Thunder bass, and it's very similar to this shape-wise. I think this, because it's a bit earlier, this is a sort of Fender version, you know, a sort of more Fendery Thunder, you know, with the 6-a-side headstock and the maple neck. But I'm not sure there's not a Thunder that's quite similar to this. And obviously it's got the Strat thingy, Strat trem. But I really like this setup for a guitar. Volume 2 tones, output jack on the front, 2 humbuckers. It's an amazing guitar. It was me that painted it yellow. I think these were only available, and actually got I typed in yellow Strat when I bought it, which I often do, and found a yellow Submarine Strat. I actually put a yellow Submarine sticker in the back. I was going to put on the, I don't know if it's actually on the strap, my pal Michael's bathroom is yellow and he's got a picture of the yellow submarine in it, and there's the wee windows in it with the Beatles sticking their heads through. I got those stickers and I put them along there, but they only lasted 2 minutes, didn't like them. I decided it was too much. Just being yellow and having the yellow submarine strap's fine. Yeah, I need to bring this guitar back into circulation. I really like this one. It was very badly split when I got it. I probably shouldn't say that in case I ever try and sell it, but for that reason, there's got some quite bad dinks in the back, and for that reason I'm going to keep it because I love this one. Yep, then moving on, we've got, well, I suppose I'll go to the other Concord, which is over here, which is the old Project Not. This is a Concord bass, which I bought and have not yet done anything with. Unfortunately, someone's already sanded off all the logos and stuff. I just bought it because I didn't think you see very many of them. The guy had actually made a sort of plastic leather looking scratch plate, looked terrible. But it's all been sanded down. This is 1982, this is before, when it says, it's got like a different backplate. It doesn't say a Matsumoku project, it says Matsumoku, it starts with a 2, so 82, made in Japan. And it's got the wrong tuners on it. So I will work my way around to doing that. The original plan was I was going to paint this one green, because I've got the yellow one and the blue one and the orange one, which I'm about to show you. So this is a DX, Spectrum DX from 1986, which I painted orange. This is sort of, kind of, I'm probably putting this one up for sale just now. It's kind of not, it doesn't do enough that the yellow one and the blue one don't do. It's kind of like the blue one, apart from it's slightly lower in the range. I've got to turn the amp on one of them. Yeah, so this would be what they were doing in '86 when things were getting a little bit. This actually is the same shape as the bass I was talking about earlier on, my first one that I didn't like. It's got the same tremolo as the blue one, so it's got that whole being able to bend it without it moving, and if you just ignore it, you would never know it was there. It's not like, you know, just take the arm out and that's it. You don't need to hardtail it in. Just bend the arm out the way and just ignore it. It's like a hardtail. So this has got the same pickups in it as well. When I got it, it was missing the neck pickup, and I tried putting other ones in, and none of them could really match up with the brittle, harsh and amazingness of the bridge pickup. See, now they just sound totally. When I picked this up last night, when I actually decided to wire in, I got a replacement pickup eventually for this, probably about 6 months ago, and I took the Seymour Duncan that I had out the neck of this and put it into something else, and I just had the pickup sitting in there not connected for 6 months. So this one suffered a wee bit from this not being having played for 6 months. But it is a nice guitar, and this one doesn't have the original knobs on it. This has got, these are from an Ibanez Destroyer, I believe. I put silver ones on that. 3-way switch. Again, I put coil split on the net on the volume control, and then a phase on the tone control. There's thin, sounds so broken. But they really do sound so bizarre. I've been playing a Gibson SG mostly this week, and a BC Rich that's got like humbuckers and stuff in it, and it's a completely different sound. I would honestly say the difference between an SG and a Telly, they're just the same compared to this. This is totally a much bigger difference than what you would, the difference between any of the sort of normal guitars you get, because it's just so treble, but it's totally usable. I'm sure you could adjust the amp and stuff, but I don't touch the dials in the amp, it just stays the same. Yeah, so I painted this one orange. It was originally black and covered in stickers, and I couldn't bother to take the stickers off. Well, I did take the stickers off, but someone else had already previously taken stickers off, so it was all scratched and knackered looking. This one is missing the back plate, and I think pretty much with all of the ones I've got. In fact, yeah, with all the ones with tremolos, the tremolo arm's missing, and I've got just one off eBay from China in it. And if you put a bit of tape, like insulating tape around the end, and then just wrap it around and put it in, it works fine. They're all like that. I suppose if I'm selling this one, I should probably, well, what is it to say? This one's got a painted black neck, which I was not liking black necks, or not liking black necks, not liking painted necks for years, and then suddenly I just changed my mind. I would rather the neck was orange, but I didn't want to try and paint that. I wasn't sure whether I'd get away with it. Yep, so I think this one's got the graphite nuts on it as well, and sort of funny Westone unique sort of triangular shaped locking nuts. Got the proper tuners. Yeah, so that's the Spectrum DX. It would be, at the time there was an ST, I think, which was the cheapest one in the range, which would have had the Strat tremolo, kind of more like the yellow one actually, the ST. So it wouldn't have the locking bridge on it, and it wouldn't have. I don't think it would have had coil splits. But yeah, so that's that one. Nearly there. And then this one, I said I managed to find the neck pickup for this. The pickups these go for so much money on eBay. I bought this, which is a Clipper 6. I basically bought it for the pickup that I thought was in it. I didn't realise there's in 1987 or 1988 something went bad in Japan, and they stopped making guitars and they all moved to Korea, and the quality stuck down a bit. When I bought this, I thought it was a Korean one, and it's not. It's a Japanese one, actually used by Status Quo. But it had the correct pickup in it because it's from 1986. This one doesn't actually have a serial number on it anymore. The only reason I know it's from 1986 is because they only made it for 1 year. I think they sold it in 1987, but they were made in 86. The one with a single pickup. You can get other Westone Clippers, which were later on, I think they might even have been at the same time, but they were Korean and they've got like a pointy headstock and different pickup configurations. Yeah, no, this is a really cool one though. It's much more standard looking than the sort of crazy shapes. It's basically just a Telecaster, but it's a bit pointier here. The pickup in it, I bought the guitar for the pickup to put into the orange one. So I put when I actually decided I quite liked the guitar, when I first saw it I thought, oh. Then I saw a picture of Status Quo playing it and I thought, oh, hold on. So I put a DiMarzio Super Distortion in it, which I bought, I don't know, 6 months ago, a year ago. Just thinking, oh, let's see what the buzz is all about. DiMarzio's. You can actually hear the difference, it being a sort of normal pickup as opposed to these. I think this is a much more normal type guitar. The rosewood fretboard, maple neck, I would assume, got a scarf joint in the head. It's through strung, like I tell you, this isn't the original bridge. Originally this would have had, the guy parted it out because I think it had Gotoh tuners on it, and it possibly had a Gotoh bridge. It was an expensive, a pro level instrument. but he'd lost them, so this is just a cheapie from China, which does the job, and the machine heads I think were £5 for the set. I'd like to buy decent ones, but it's one of those things that if it doesn't go out of tune, there's not really much point in having pure amazing tuners. Like just having new ones that work is really all you really want. But in saying that, I did a couple of guitars, a Les Paul and a Strat for a guy in Stirling, his name Jerry, and it's like I had to take the strings off his guitars, and see, actually because they had like Grovers on them, they were nice. It was so much nicer taking all the strings off and putting them all back on again, just having nicer machine heads, even though they just technically do the same job. And I don't know what Grovers cost, what, 30-40 quid, and it's just, if the repairman is good, well thank you. If you don't have to try and repair it, it's much easier to take strings off when you've got machine heads. Interestingly, this guitar, when it had the original pickup in it, the two switches were already there. What they did was they turned on each coil of the guitar, of the pickup, but they didn't turn them on in series like a humbucker, so it wasn't, they were in parallel. So what you really had was two single coils with a switch each. So it didn't really even have a humbucker. I mean, to wire it over, all you had to do was just change the switches to do something else. But it just seemed crazy to me. I kind of wish those switches weren't there. I'd like to just have a volume and nothing else, but the holes were there, so I had to put something in. I've got a coil split. No, that's a coil split. One of them's a coil split, one of them's a series parallel, within itself. So one of them is the original sound the guitar would have had. Can't tell what it's actually. So it would have been a twangy one, because that's obviously a DiMarzio one there, not one of the Magnaflux pickups. And it's only got twangy mode, and they're obviously much twangier than this, and it's not even a humbucker. That's not in tune. Yep, so that was Westone, my Westone tour. So I think I'm going to sell the orange one, purely just because, I don't know if it's just because I got it at the same time as I got something else. Maybe I got a more interesting guitar, but it's not different enough from the other two. Or maybe I kept it if it had been a 3 single coil, because I've got this set of 2 humbuckers in the yellow one, and I've got this shape in the blue one, so it's kind of surplus to requirements. I don't like having to sell guitars I like, but I mean really, you are talking, I don't know, what's the equivalent of one of these now? If you went in a guitar to try and buy a guitar better than this, I don't know. Because it is pure top-notch quality all the way. And from 1986, it's 31 years old. It's not really the heavy metal machine that it looks like. It's a much more versatile thing. I think the only stumbling point with these is the fact that they're the wrong shape for people. People just want Les Pauls and Strats and Tellys. They don't want something that's got a little bit of presence to it. Dave Brock at Hawkwind uses one of these live, still uses it. Well, he does in a video I've got from 2001. I can't remember. I think I actually saw Hawkwind last year. I think I would have noticed if he was using it. I don't know which model it was. A Westone Spectrum anyway. So this one I will be possibly ditching. Don't know.